Hi, welcome. Today we are going to do a quick video on value, and I'm going to walk you through how to create a value scale and to add shading to a circle to create a sphere. So first thing we're going to do is create a 5-point value scale, and the way I do this is I just kind of block out a little strip, almost 1 by 5 inches long. It's just estimating. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to break it into 5 squares. There's 3, 4, 5. It's okay if it's not perfect. And then I'm going to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have, and I'm going to show a little sample of what not to do over here. And so you have the lightest light over here and the darkest dark here. Now, the whole point of this is to practice controlling your pencil so that when you go to shade items and add value to them, you kind of can look at an object and know where to put value to show the illusion that something is 3D. So, for one, it's going to be as light as you can do with your pencil. Sometimes you can even just have the paper showing. I do like to have just a little touch of color on there, okay? And you're trying to get it as even as possible. Sometimes it might even be good to do your pencil a little bit. All right, so you can barely see any color. And this is practice, so it's okay if it's not perfect. And then 2, I like to go ahead and practice my 1 value again. And then I can go over it a second time to create the 2 value. And so it's just a tiny step up from your 1 value. And again, I'm going to kind of hold it close so you can see. And then the 3 value, again, I'm going to go and I'm going to try to capture that 2 value first. So I'm pushing just a little bit higher, but I'm trying to saturate, and I can turn my paper and go the other way to get that nice even look. Okay, so you can see it's starting to be very gradual. And then 4, again, you're trying to just capture that 3 value so you kind of know what your baseline is. And then you can make it darker, and you can go all sorts of different directions. So this is our second darkest one, and you can see if it's like this is a pretty light value scale. I could maybe even go through and darken some things up, but I actually am pretty happy with it, so I'm not going to. So there is my 4, and then lastly is 5, and I'm going to try to start by using a 4 value to fill it in and turning it sideways. And you can even go at a diagonal. And that is a nice solid 5 value. So you can see it's like an ombre effect. It's just a gradual increase in color. So this I mentioned was going to be what not to do. Now, with graphite, if you press super hard right from the get-go, what it does is it creates a shine. With your graphite, it just creates a reflection of your paper, and you really don't want to capture that. You really kind of just want to layer your darks upon each other until you saturate the paper without creating that weird reflective shine. Okay, so next we're going to do a sphere that will turn in, and I'm looking for a circle to trace real quick so I don't have to just freehand one, which I could freehand one, but I'm just going to use this little paint I have. And I'm trying to draw as light as I can. I probably went a little too dark. So this is, you can just freehand it or you can trace something. So you don't really want an outline, so try to draw as light as you can. And just for the sake of kind of showing you guys the values, that's going to be our 1 value. That's 2. 3, and our light source is going to be like our sun or our lamp or whatever is going to be here. So that's going to be our highlight. So 1, 2, 3, this is 4 value. And I'm going with the shape of the ball. Here's my 5 value. And then it'll actually have a 4 value on the end as a kind of, if this was on a table or something, that light will go not only around the ball, but bounce off, hit the table, and bounce back and create a slightly reflective light. And you can also have a shadow if you want, which would be a 5 value. So to start this, I'm going to do a very light kind of sketch over this, and a little heavy-handed today, which happens, but you can always use like a kneaded eraser or something else to pick up some of the graphite. So this is a 3 value I'm trying to capture here. And the idea is you kind of want a nice smooth transition. So while we practice a 5-point value scale, you'll kind of have some half values in between to transition nice and smoothly. So kind of like a 1.5, a 2.5. Or if you were to do another value scale, it would be a 10-point value scale. So here I'm trying to capture a 4 value. And sometimes it just is good to kind of block in. And I have something under my table that caused, it's a little dirt, caused a little blemish there, and that's okay. This is just practice. So we're just going along here and trying. So now this will be my 5 value. And again, just you can overlap a little bit to try and make the transitions nice and smooth. But I'm not using my finger to smooth anything out. The reason why you don't use your finger is because it can really get oils onto your paper that will then cause like an odd smudging and reaction with the graphite. It almost, will create like the greasy finger look. So we avoid that. If you must smooth things out, you want to use what we call a tortilla, and that's like a rolled piece of paper. So now I'm just kind of going through, cleaning up the edges, maybe pulling the dark around a little bit more, but you can kind of see now how that circle quickly turned into a ball shape. Now under here, and it's kind of like a 5 right under the ball that turns into a 4. You can even spread it out more depending on how. But that's just a nice quick exercise to practice value. If you're not familiar with it, or if you just need a refresher on how to create it. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you.